time for Live Now with Dr. Carmen Harra. The show offers profound wisdom, practical advice, daily exercises, and empowering predictions. And now, here's Dr. Carmen Harra.
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be with you. February 11 here on MET Radio on 490 AM, affiliated to ABC Radio. I'm Carmen Harra, your host, and this is my show called Live Now. I'm inviting you to this show because this show talks about what? Valentine's. We are honoring this great day of love, and we're going to talk about love. And we're going to talk about how significant it is to know how to keep love, to make love grow. And love is that emotion that is so powerful, so intense, and so healing. But many of us are always saying, I've never been in love, or I've never been loved, and why is that? And how can we create love and bring love in our life and make love last? That's the theme of the show. As I said, in order to honor the Valentine that's coming on Monday. Now, this is the most difficult thing when we're talking about relationship. It's a topic that everybody complains. Oh, I've been married, I'm divorced twice. I suffer a lot in that marriage. So people complain about relationship. But I want to talk to you about something so interesting. Relationship come in different phases, in different stages. There is the dating stage, so in which you date that person and everything seems to go well. And you are questioning, should I commit? Should I not commit to that person? Then comes the second phase. The second phase is the newlywed stage, in which you're perfectly happy. You're in the world of your own. Everything seems to work fine. He's the ideal person for you. You care about him. He's great. Now, there comes the moving phase. In the moving phase, you decide to buy a house. You decide to build something together, to put money in the same account, to eventually bring a baby in this world. So, but you know what I mean? This is the third phase. So you're still excited about your love life. There comes the fourth stage, which is the settling stage. And in this stage, you start to see that there's some communication problem. He might not be as perfect as you thought at the beginning. And you have some doubts, but still things go on and you still love him and he's still great. And there comes another stage, which is called, how did I get myself into this? And how do I get out? So, and then you go to other people to the rescue. You hire an attorney. You want a divorce. But I've seen people moving from the space, how did I get myself into, going back to the settling stage or to the newlywed stage. Is possible. Everything is possible. It's possible. It depends how you cultivate love for each other in time. Because I want to tell you something. Having a relationship is exactly like having a house. You have to add to it. You have to work on it. You have to improve it constantly. Every single day something breaks. You have to call the plumber. So this is making this parallel between a relationship and a house. So maintaining a relationship takes so much time and so much emotional investment and so much mental and spiritual investment on your part. So for love to last, it cannot remain stagnant. If everything is still the same, or you get bored, and when you get bored, you express dissatisfaction with everything. You start to see more the flaws of that person. You start seeing the darker side, not the positive side. So as I said, revision of a relationship every single day, but also moving things around, making that relationship continue to flourish and bring the excitement in the relationship, especially after many years of being together. Now, psychologically and also scientifically, although medically speaking, to people who spend many, many years together, they lose that chemistry, they lose the attraction, they don't have the same sexual connection that they used to have at the beginning. And everybody says, oh, that dies after 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, is no more there. And the real reason, medically speaking, is because those catecholamine in the brain that are called dopamine, adrenaline, they drop because they usually drop when two people get used to each other for too long. So the excitement, the rush, the chemistry, the physical thing is no more there. How can you supplement that is with emotional intimacy. So beyond the physical intimacy, there is emotional intimacy, which is way stronger and better than the physical because you connect at the soul level. So you get to know that person uh, at every level of his or her being. So don't forget that in a relationship, you constantly have to build on that emotional intimacy by figuring out what is your partner really doing? How does he feel? You know, what are his needs, his desires, his intention? So watching that in time, you create that strong bond, that strong connection. And that relationship gets better and better as the time goes by and doesn't deteriorate. I've seen people that they fail to connect emotionally. They don't have that emotional intimacy. And as the physical attraction is gone, then they look at each other and go to the face, how did I got myself into this? And they want to exit and eventually find another partner. And there you have the divorce is at the corner, knocking on your door. Now, it's very important, as I said, to always pay attention to your feelings, your emotion, your intention, your action towards each other. And they, as I said, might change because you change. We change. We live in the energy field and energy transforms, and we are not the same person from yesterday. You look in a mirror, you don't look the same like a year ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago. You're completely a different person with different needs, with different way of expressing yourself. If you look back through the history of relationship, and go back for a second and think of your parents, your grandparents, your grandparents, whatever you knew about them, they stick with each other through thick and thin. They didn't give up on each other so easily. There was a belief system. So when you say, what did change lately when it comes to relationship? I want to tell you that change. Our mentality changed. We change, in a matter of decades, yes, because our mentality about marriage in itself changed. You look at the young generation, they don't even want to get married anymore. They say, why should I bother? There's this online dating. I can date 3 people in the same time. And I'm free. And I celebrate my freedom. That's why I wrote a book called Committed, Finding Love and Loyalty Through the 7 Archetypes, because we actually want that loyalty. But for some reason, the mentality changing, we have a total different way of expressing our needs and our connection to our partner. So the views, the thinking is different when it comes to marriage and commitment. And commitment comes from the Latin word committere, which means you give yourself to another person. And the 9th generation doesn't really want to give themselves to somebody else. I've seen this. If we make statistics, it's actually hard to believe that many of them, in a proportion that more than 60%, they question whether they should or should not get married. So, and that is where I say mentality change. Now, in relationship, for a relationship to going back to, yes, it is healthy and it is normal to be in a relationship and to make it last. But there are 3 elements that are very significant. I call them the 3C, the 3C that make a relationship with somebody last. And the 3 C's are compatibility, commitment, and compromise, the 3 C's. The first in compatibility. You don't enter into a relationship if you're not compatible with that person. And when I say compatibility, think very well of that strong bond and connection you have to create with that person. But many people don't think that way. They get married, why? For financial security. A woman gets married because she wants to be taken care of. A woman gets married because she thinks this means somebody who provides. She likes his bank account, and less she cares about anything else. So you marry for the wrong reason. A lot of people do it for the wrong reason. And those wrong reasons are guaranteed to bring you a divorce on a silver platter. That's going to happen without a doubt. Now, there is commitment. As I said, commitment is the ability to give yourself to someone else. In other words, you welcome that person into your life at every level of your being, and you welcome him convinced that this is a person complimenting you, that that person is a reflection of your intention, is a reflection of your desires, is compliment, is the other half. The two of you against the world will create that oneness, that totality, the will of life, the samsara that moves. And this is when we create movement and transformation. But we become stronger together. So this is why commitment is so powerful and so significant for people to continue to consider. But the last one is compromise. So compromise is it means when a relationship is just done because you think that you are taught that you have to get married, and then you compromise, and there's a lot of compromise relationship. I wrote a book before in which I talk about the 4 types of relationship, one of each being karmic. Another relationship can be transitory. Another relationship can be soulmates, which is very rare. And then there's another type of relationship called compromise. A lot of people compromise. And you see, after 20, 30 years of marriage, 40 years of marriage, they like 2 strangers who live separate lives, but they share a house, they share a bank accounts. And I've seen this a lot. The sad part is that compromise relationships exist a lot in the world right now. Many people don't embrace their partner for their strength, and also for their weaknesses. They just embrace that person, and that's it. The belief is that you have to change something within yourself in accepting that person no matter what, and go with the flow, and just as I said, just compromise. Freud was the one who actually said that what's significant for us to know that everything goes back to our youth. Everything in our life, the way we think, the way we feel, the way we interact, even the way and who we got married has a lot to do, stems from our thoughts created in the youth. So whatever happens when you are young, whatever happened between your parents, it's something that will be reflected sooner or later in your life. That's why it's so significant. If you have kids and go through a divorce, please don't tell the child how bad your partner is, and don't blame or accuse your husband or your wife for not being the right person, and don't pinpoint towards the flaws, the wrongdoing, because kids will create that imprint within themselves up to the cellular level, and that will be reflected later on in their life. So there's a lot of harm that comes with this kind of a behavior. As you know very well, this is a calling show, so I'm going to take your calls. If you have calls about your relationship, if you have any kind of issues in your life right now, this is a show to call in. And the number to call in is 951-922-3532. 951-922-3532. And I'll take your calls the very moment they come in, because it's such a pleasure to take your calls. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media. This is something that we all need to do. Facebook, Instagram, everywhere you can find me. And in this way, if you join me, you know when I'm doing a show or when I'm on the radio, and you can also write me and express your concern or your questions to Carmen Harra at AOL.com. So this is the way for us to communicate. As you know, my latest book is called Committed: Finding Love and Loyalty to the 7 Archetype. And as I said, commitment is a problem that a lot of people have, because a lot of people have a lot of problems. So commitment is understood in many different ways. So, but if you struggle in love, and if you're ready to end up a cycle of pain, and you want to foster truly successful relationship, then I think Committed is a book for you. It helps you sort of reevaluate the way you think about love. It helps you understand. It's like a manual. Dr. John Gray, who was my guest last week, actually endorsed my book, and he said, this is a manual for love. And we need those kind of guidance, when it comes to our life, most likely when it comes to relationship. The word relationship comes from the Latin word relatio, which means to restore. A relationship is meant to restore anything in you and create that totality, that oneness, that balance, that harmony within ourselves. The sad part is that in many cases, relationships that are toxic or relationship that fail, a divorce, a separation will harm you. My book is like a predictability chart that shows you your archetype, which stems that from your weaknesses, your strength, your capacity to love, and your partner's archetype. So by knowing who you are, it's like an easy psychological analysis of the way you express yourself and who you are, the totality of you, and who is your partner. Then you'll understand, you will be able to figure it out who is your match. So my book is actually written with the intention to prevent separation, divorces, as the rate of divorces go over 50-something% in the world right now. So we want to kind of help and educate people in knowing, who they are and who they should be with. It's an interpretation that is deep, is profound, is psychological. If you go to any of those dating sites, they ask you psychological issues, trying to figure it out who can be good for you based on all those quizzes. By the way, I have a quiz on my site, carmenharra.com. Go and take my quiz about compatibility in relationship and who's your archetype. So that kind of a quiz, who's your archetype, is very instrumental in helping you understand how you think, how you behave, and who you will actually end up bringing into your life. I'm going to go and take a short break, and I'll be with you telling you much more about my book, and then we'll go and revisit issues about the concept of marriage and relationship. We'll continue the discussion. And because this is a calling show, please call in. I'd love to hear from you. And the number to call in is 951-922-3532. I'm Carmen Harra on KMET 1490 AM ABC Radio. Done and the good that it can do to a lot of people in comparison, to, and this is an American site. So there are people from 40 countries, I noticed already, and it's just people that look for inspiration, look for connection, for creating a better community. And you can you can support somebody's wishes. Everybody can put a wish. And then if people for 40 countries will pray for you, let's say, Pauline, you have a wish this year to find the best partner. And you put your wish out there, and you'll be amazed how thousands of people write you back and say, I support your wish. I pray for this. I'm going to light candle for this. It's just moving. You feel the energy. And then I've seen people after a while writing back and saying, guess what? My wish came true because of all that positive energy that supported my wish. It's just interesting to be part of it.
Can we do something for the United States? That would be nice. We need to have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So go to My Angels, download the app, and put there your good energy, and project those great thoughts of yours and everything that.
And I like it. That is international. We're doing it as a global family.
It's international. And you see how in a matter of seconds you connect with a lot of good people that exist across the world. You'll be impressed how many beautiful souls exist out there.
Of course, Carmen, you're great. You always think of these greatest things. I felt so grateful. Thank you very much. And I'll let somebody else come on. Bye-bye.
Yeah. We need as many good people with good intention, projecting the light in this world and projecting love. It's all about, expressing feelings of love and gratitude and rewarding each other. So My Angels is the site called My Angel. So thank you, Pauline. Thank you for calling me. I love you. And let me know how's Monday for you. I'm going to go to Joya. Hi, Joya, my dear. How are you?
Hi, Carmen. We met last week. We had lunch.
but I have a question for you.
Yes, absolutely. I love you. What a pleasure. What a surprise. I'm so touched. How do you enjoy my show? Do you like the show? Is this something?
Yes. We've been listening to it. Mm-hmm. I just had to go into another room because I see there's a time delay, and I was getting confused.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
My question is, are there any special issues for people over 60?
Meaning, if any special advice or?
Yes. For us older folk.
So in other words, love has no age. Age is just a number. And if you feel it in your heart that you are ready to start over, to have a new beginning, to bring someone else into your life, then the first thing you have to do, you have to close the door of the past. And you have to look back and say, okay, I had some experience. Probably I was married. Probably I'm divorced. But I don't want to think about that anymore. And I have to have the strength to completely close that door and get ready for a new beginning. So project a new image of you, look better than ever, be in a better shape, and start to envision. It's all about visualizing the things that you want to achieve and put your wish out there in the universe. We used to say reality reflects what the mind projects. But if the mind projects things that were not good, that you still hold on to subconsciously in the reactive side of the brain, then of course, you're not going to see results. The moment you close that door and say, no, I'm ready. I'm ready to be someone else, someone I always wanted to be. I'm ready to create the best version of myself and bring the best partner in my life and see that becoming possible. We used to say that the way we shift our brain, the way we empower the brain is by doing affirmation. And I want you to start saying, create your own affirmation, like saying, I'm the architect of my life. My mind is powerful. I am better than ever. Never think of an age. Think, I'm the best I can be. Now I'm wiser than ever. I can look better than ever. Everything is possible. We live in the world of infinite possibilities nowadays. And it all comes with your intention, with what you project, and controlling emotion. The problem with us, with humans, we're very emotional, and many negative feelings, are blocking us. I've seen people being stuck or blocked because they think the wrong way, because they're overly emotional. I don't know if you agree with me, but try to make your emotion your best friends, not your worst enemies, which happens in many cases. And you know what I recommend? Take a notebook and write down for 7 days how you feel about you, how you feel about having a partner. When you wake up in the morning, say, this is how I feel, but go beyond I feel happy, or I feel sad, or I feel depressed, or whatever. Go beyond the deep within the core of your being and ask, okay, I feel I'm excited. I feel I want to bring somebody new. So write down. So 3 times during the day, write down what you feel. Also revisit what emotion somebody evoke in you. When I was with somebody, how was the way I acted? How I, responded to certain experiences, so that you become aware you don't do it again. And after 7 days.
But I know you said to close the door on past relationships.
Right,
but what if your wait a second? What if your past relationships were good? Unfortunately, I've had 2 relationships.
If past relationships were good, you keep them in your heart. Those are beautiful memories. Absolutely. I cannot agree with you more. If there's something wonderful, you want to project that again. You want to project, and I know where you're coming from, because I had a beautiful marriage for many years, and unfortunately my husband passed away, but I want to keep that. I want to create that again, But what stands on my way, in my case, I'm becoming so, I open up on the radio, so personal to me, but what stands on my way, I can overcome the pain. The pain is still there. So in your case, if there was a beautiful relationship, what was the reason that relationship is no more in your life?
Well, I had 2 beautiful relationships, and unfortunately, both of them died.
Okay, so you had exactly the experience I had. So in this case, you had twice the chance of being with two beautiful souls that came into your life, and honor you, and you had a great time. But unfortunately, God took them from you, and you are on your own again. So what I think is going to happen in your case, intuitively, I think you're going to meet the third person who's going to be probably even better than any the two of them, and you will find that joy and happiness. You are able to bring it twice, you'll be able to bring it again. There's no question about it.
I just don't want to bury another one.
No, this time is not. You don't have to think this way, and I don't think this time is going to be this way. This time is going to be.
I just don't want to outlive another one.
You don't have to think that way. Yeah, I agree with you because it happened twice, and this is the part I want you to close. The door that I want you to close is the door of that person dying on you and not being with you because he was taken away from you.
Well, I thank you for your advice. I will.
I love you. I love you. And
I love you too.
For being part of the show.
Thank you. I'm enjoying the show, and I figured. And Sally is too. She's here. We're together and listening to your show.
I love you guys. I'm so appreciative. I'm so grateful of your friendship and the fact that you listen to the show, and most likely the fact that you call me. It's an honor and a pleasure to speak with you. And I hope to speak with you again. This show is every Friday, so hopefully in the future you will call me again and give me some good news.
I downloaded the app so that when I'm back in New York, I can still listen to you.
Wonderful. I love you, my beautiful friend.
I love you too.
Okay.
Bye.
So yeah, that was so much fun. I don't know if I have time for a short break, and then I will come back to the conclusion of the show. But if there's time for a short break, I'll take it. Hello, everybody. I'm Carmen Harra, live with my show Leave Now on KMET Radio 1.1490 AM, affiliated to ABC Radio. So we're very excited to talk about Valentine's. And I'm grateful to the ladies who called the show. I'm going to go to Susan, who's calling me. Hi, my beautiful Susan. How are you?
Hi, very good. I'm so happy to be able to talk to you online.
This is such a wonderful feeling, to have you with me on the show, and I'm so grateful.
Thank you.
And I want to tell you guys, everybody listening, Susan is actually my beautiful neighbor who I love and admire, and I know her for very many, many, many years. And we walk our dogs together, and we share a lot of secrets together.
Yes.
This is such a wonderful experience, Susan. Thank you so much for thinking of me today and calling me. Is there anything you want to ask me? I know Susan is married forever. She has a beautiful marriage. She has a beautiful son. She's so involved in the community. She wants to do good. She just rescued a dog. I can't talk about Susan forever, how beautiful she is. But I want to ask Susan if she has any questions for me about the topic today.
I absolutely do, but I feel I should just leave it at what you said and just feel good for the rest of the day about myself. But anyway, no. Yes, I do. You have asked other people what they're going to give for Valentine's Day, and I figured we would ask Dr. Carmen, the expert, what would be some examples of good Valentine's Day presents for couples in their fourth stage, and maybe in their 60s, if not older.
I think the best gift is telling them how much you love them, because no gift is better than expressing your emotion from your heart. And of course, you can buy them something, whatever you know they like, whatever you bought them through years and they appreciate. You can repeat that. That's perfectly fine. And you can have a special moment with them. Just go to a different place. Go somewhere you've never been. Bring back the memories of your youth. Try to remember when you speak how wonderful the beginning was between the two of you, how you were able to keep like in your case, Susan, it's just so remarkable. So many years of wonderful marriage to a wonderful, smart, educated, attractive, and good man that you've been married to, who honor you, and you guys are like the perfect couple. That I think you guys are like kind of a soulmates that rarely you can find. You don't find marriages like this anymore, unfortunately. And you're an example. You know, I'm glad that I'm talking to you, because I have everybody listening to the show will know that, yeah, there are soulmates. There are people who stick with each other through life. And I've seen you, how good you take care of your husband, how much work you do for him, and how good he is to you back. It's just, so what can you do for Valentine? Just bring those memories, talk about it, and find a new environment. You know, spend it in a different way, the way you never. It's not so much about giving him something, though you can give him something that he really likes, if that's a shirt, a cologne, or something that you know. What does he like, by the way?
That's a good question. I told him he could have, this may be a little X-rated, but I told him he could, that we would each have one request sexually. Mm-hmm. Not that the other was mandated to satisfy it, but that brought a smile to his face.
You see, so do something that, you know, is bringing him a state of content, of joy, of celebration, of being with you.
Yeah.
I think this Valentine should be about celebrating this amazing marriage for so many years. And right. The things you guys, that you achieve, and the fact that you stick with each other.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm thinking, you're reminding me, I'm sharing this with you, it's a little beyond the question that I asked, but we're at the point now, you know, we're empty nesters now for a number of years, and I'm trying to reinvent where we were earlier, way back when, and that's why I'm trying to, right. You know, lose weight and get back into shape, and just kind of, you know, just reinvent that nice energy.
Yeah, and that's the best gift. If there is a wonderful gift, is the gift of bringing back the initial connection that feels like probably faded away, but you know, it's still there. That right. Bond between the two of you is alive, is there.
Right.
It just needs to be empowered. So words can do that. You know, the way you look at each other, the way you hold each other's hands, you know, the way you express feelings that come from your heart, you know, those will definitely be probably the best gift you've ever given him, and he will give you back the same way. So that sharing will make you feel better physically, mentally, emotionally, and revisit and recreate that energy from the very beginning of the relationship.
I got you. And I have to tell you that I really loved your advice a few minutes ago about making a positive, caring comment about them every day.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
That is a wonderful.
Empower and build up your significant other's qualities. Tell him every day how wonderful he is, how great he is, and how grateful you are to have him in your life. And that's the gift for Valentine. Not only for you, Susan, but for everybody here listening to the show. And I'm at the end of the show, Susan. I love you. You're the best neighbor I could have dreamed to have. And everybody listening, thank you so much. I'm Carmen Harra on KMET ABC Radio. Thank you for listening. I'll be with you next Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern.